And this is Chris Collins for Mobile Development Frameworks 2, and this is my week 4 project. This week we built a movie theater app that pulls information in for the three different theaters and had 5 different movies for each theater. We'll go through the code here really quickly. Here's the information set up for our movie info to set up the initial variables and stuff for our array. We have our movie name, the image, the showtime, and the video that goes along with that movie. And then we have our trailer or our theater information, which basically is just the name of each of the theaters. Come over to our table view controller. Have our information pulled in for our table view, our outlet, and then here I just, because I had everything set with the image size and everything, I set up my own row height, and then also allowed the background here to have this image. And then here we have our basic setup for the array, which I set up the up here. We set this up to where the movie theater array pulls in any object for the array. That way, whether image or string, it would allow that through. And then we have our theater array, which pulls from our theater info. So down here, have this set up for our theater 1 array, which then pulls in the movie info inside that, which this houses the name, the image, the time, and the video for each of these for this first theater. Then come down, you have our theater array, which basically pulls in the name of the cinema, and then uses the movie info array to distinguish between the different movies and pulls those to the theater 1 array. And the same for the next 2 theaters. Everything's basically the same. And because I knew that it was a set number, I set the number of sections to 3. And down here we have our our array for the number of sections, and set that to the theater info. And then we have our information pulling in for each section into those array. And then here we have all of our information for each cell. And then here I just set the background color to like a little bit of a off-white that you can't really tell, but and then the other one's completely clear. Then down here we have pulling in the other information for each of the rows in, and then we have our array information that pulls in the different theater names into it. And then here we have our information pushing it over to the display view controller. And then here have our information for the display view, which here we're just pulling in the information, the text for the movie name, the image, and then the movie time in there. And then our prepare for segue pushes it on into the trailer view controller, which here we have our information being pulled in from the segue method. Then here we have our buttons, and then pulling in the movie player view. And come on down, we have our function that pulls in the information, our resources for the video. This is where I had just a little bit of a problem. I almost had it solved, but it's still giving me some issues. But here, the the video here that's pulling in. It's not pulling in the actual movies to fill in the array, but that's set there. Then here we have our movie player set up, and then our buttons to run those. So if we go to run this, come over and see that we do have the name of the cinema here. Click on this, pulls up the name and the movie times, and then we go here. It loads in the view here in the title, and our stop and play buttons function and fire, but the information is just not there pulling through. So that's something I need to work on and get fixed. But other than that, the app looks really good. When you scroll down here, you can see the other cinema with the other movies, and then the last cinema here has the rest of our movies. So that's my app. I know it needs a little bit of touch up, but overall it started out really well, and I'd like to finish this and get it to be a good working app. So thank you.